Musical genius comes in different forms, sometimes in the virtuoso of the musician, other times in the craftsmanship of the person creating the instrument. Bill Rickard is among that elite school, a man whose labor of love came through unlikely means. And while he doesn't play himself, he's still found a way of making music. Usually the banjo needs two hands to play, one to pick, the other for the chords. But sometimes one hand can make beautiful music too. Like in the case of Bill Rickard. Some would call him disabled, but watch him for a moment or two and you'll forget his body is missing vital parts.
Boy, this is sounding really good, Bill.
That took a long time to get that one right.
As a younger man, Bill loved to play the banjo. When he lost that ability, he found another way to build a melody.
I built everything. I built all the hardware. I mean, the hooks, I built everything. Geez, I did one thing and the word got out on the internet and it got bigger and bigger. It got out of control.
Today, his banjo-making factory, about a half-hour north of Toronto, has turned his life around. Look at Bill in this video taken a few years ago. He was a tortured, unhappy man who had lost his will to live. It was all because of this yellow Ducati. He was riding it on a highway in Italy when he hit a truck.
I remember seeing my hand up by my visor on my motorcycle helmet, and it was just bone. I thought, my God, I've lost my arm. And my friend ran up, took his helmet off, told me not to move, and he started to cry, and he walked away, and I thought, my God, this is real bad.
Bill lost his arm and leg. It wasn't until his 60s that Bill reconnected to the instrument, this time making banjos instead of playing them.
This is called a Tree of Life inlay.
This is the first one he built for musician and friend Chris Cool. Today, Bill's factory is like a customized playground, building toys for musicians like Arnie Naiman.
To design these machines with a hydraulic foot pedal on, and he could do all this himself. And so he was doing so much himself, which is like difficult for a normal person to do with all of his limbs and everything else. And he had figured out he was just so determined to figure out how to make this thing work for him.
Here, a machine shapes a strip of cherry wood into a perfect circle. This will be the banjo rim.
This is good for a couple hundred years now. This will last forever.
Next, computers do the kind of fine carving that no man, not even Bill, could do by hand. Then, a robotic router fashions a banjo with almost microscopic precision. And finally, the fine, detailed finishing work done by Bill himself. There is a gentle melancholy in all of this, a labor of love that is torturous, like every once in a while when Bill's missing arm wants to play again.
So if I sit and concentrate to music too hard, my left hand, which isn't there in my brain, automatically goes up to that playing position where my fingers would go. My arm's frozen like that on the left side. It wants to, if it goes there in my brain, it takes this phantom limb up there. But it's also saying it's frozen in this position. I can't do that anymore because I'd be on the floor in pain.
So he escapes that pain with something else, the sheer joy of building an instrument that someone else will treasure.
Somebody will be playing that in a kitchen, hopefully, and having a great time and enjoying that music. And you're part of that. To see them sit and play something that I created I can't explain how much of a good feeling that is.
Next, why we spend $150 billion on products like this.